Hey, it's Maverick Mike here, and the question is, why do you support Donald Trump? Okay, so this is a great question, and I'm going to give you the reasons why I'm supporting Donald Trump, and here are just a few of them, okay? So, the first reason why I'm supporting Donald Trump is because he is unabashedly pro-life. And this is a really important topic because if you believe that murdering human beings is okay, society is going to completely fall apart. And also, it's immoral to do that, you know, especially to those who are most vulnerable, those who cannot fight for themselves, those who don't have a chance at life. I mean, you wouldn't want to be murdered yourself, right? So why would you want or allow other people to get murdered? It just doesn't make any sense. And so he's been very vocal about that, and I'm really proud to stand with the president on this issue. I think it's a really important issue, and I encourage you guys to look into that more. And even if this was like the only issue, let's say, I think it's that important of an issue where given a choice between a candidate who's pro-life and a candidate who's not, you know, I think the pro-life issue is important enough where it just tips the scale to vote for this person. Okay, so that's the first reason why I support Donald Trump. And another reason why I support Donald Trump is because he believes in freedom of speech. Now, some of you might not like his tweets so much, you know, some of them might be a little bit inappropriate. I think they're pretty funny, but not everyone has my sense of humor, and I understand that. But when I'm talking about freedom of speech, I'm talking about the people in Hong Kong. And that's just one example. So as you know, the people in Hong Kong have faced some significant restrictions on their freedoms. And Donald Trump has spoken out in favor of the people in Hong Kong. And that is a really awesome thing because it takes a lot of courage to stand up against the country that's behind that. I won't name it here because I don't want to get imprisoned when I visit this country in the future. But I think you know which country I'm talking about. I'm not afraid to say it out, but I just don't want to spend any time in prison as a precaution type of thing, okay? So anyways, the people in Hong Kong, you know, I believe that it's just basic human rights for people to be able to speak out for whatever's on their mind, you know, to criticize their government if they want, and give people the ability to report the news freely without intimidation. These are just basic things that I think the world will be a better place with it. Yes, these are American values, but that's the system I grew up in. I think that other people should have freedom too. And I'm very proud of the president speaking out in favor of Hong Kong. So that's another reason. And another reason is he actually defunds bad agreements. We're talking about the World Health Organization. We're talking about the Paris Climate Agreement. These things are really bad for America. As you know, the World Health Organization is a puppet being controlled, and they don't have the interests of people, let alone the American people who mostly finance them anyways. They actually are a special interest group, and they report some wrong and erroneous things about the COVID, and it's caused a lot of problems. So it was right for Donald Trump to shut down funding for World Health Organization. And also the Paris Climate Agreement is just very punitive, and it's just very unfair for the United States because we actually put in a lot of money into clean air, and still it disfavors countries like the United States and penalizes or makes the U.S. pay a lot more than our fair share. And while other countries that are gross violators of polluting the atmosphere, they get off scotch-free. And so, once again, it's a political thing, but I think it's the right decision to get out of bad agreements, because we don't need to finance bad situations. Another, I really appreciate Donald Trump because he's not politically correct. I really like saying Merry Christmas, okay? And if that offends you, too bad, you know? I believe in your freedom of speech. You don't have to say Merry Christmas, but to get me to shut up about saying Merry Christmas, you know, I don't think that's right. Or to have the fear, put the fear in me of saying, hey, God bless you, or Merry Christmas, being inappropriate, I think that's just wrong. And so I appreciate him because he is not politically correct, and he is very strong about that. And I like things not being politically correct, because that makes it correct. Let's see, a couple of other things that he stands for. He banned transgenders in the military, and the reason why this is a good idea is because when you allow this, it actually weakens the entire military. Yes, and I'll get into that in another topic, but you don't want a weak military, you want a strong military. So it takes courage to stand up against that, and so I applaud the president for that. And I also want to applaud the president for not supporting men competing in women's sports. It's just not right for men who identify as women to compete in women's sports. That's just wrong. I don't know. That's so obvious. I don't have much more to say about that. That's just ridiculous. Okay, another one is I feel like Donald Trump is doing a good job when it comes to taking care of the veterans. The veterans, as you know, have gotten a raw deal for many years. They haven't gotten the health care that they need, and or it's just very delayed, or it's like very low quality. And so Donald Trump fixed that, and I'm really proud of him for doing that, because you know, we need to support our military people. They are great people, and they defend our country so that we can have the life that we have today. So I just think that that's the least we could do for our veterans. Another reason why I support Donald Trump is because he appoints constitutional judges in the federal courts and also on the Supreme Court. And that's very important, because if you have liberals, they're going to destroy everything. Okay? That's the easiest way to describe it. And you just don't want destruction. Yeah, you want people who believe in the Constitution. That's how our country was founded, and that's how our country is going to survive. Like, when people follow the Constitution and not just have like any opinion they want about it, it just doesn't make any sense. So that's really important too. And the good thing about getting Supreme Court justices who follow the Constitution is that hopefully we can reverse Roe v. Wade. It was a terrible decision, very unconstitutional, and very life unaffirming. And so we get to have the possibility in our lifetime to correct this wrong. Think about how incredible that might be. You know, I know a lot of babies have died already, but we have a chance to minimize this. Yeah, so I'm really excited about that. And let's see. I want to talk about how I also like Trump because he talks about the deep state. Now, it's something that's been going on for a very long time. There are just players in America who really hate America, and they're trying to destroy the country, you know? And he's like the only president ever, well, except for JFK, but I think Donald Trump has said it a lot more than JFK, where he just calls out the deep state and says, we need to clean the swamp. We need to drain the swamp. And we are draining the swamp. The swamp is very big. We're draining it. There's still much more work to go, but at least he's acknowledging the problem. If you don't even acknowledge the problem, you're not going to fix it. So I really applaud Donald Trump for doing that. And of course, I applaud Donald Trump for calling news fake news, because they've been very, very fake. And yeah, they are, like what he said, the enemy of the American people. There's no better way to describe it. So I applaud him for just being very bold to say that. And let's see, I also think it's a great idea for the wall to be built. The reason is because America needs to be secured. And there's a lot of drugs and criminal activity that's coming into the U.S. through the southern border, and that southern border needs to be shored up. Now, whether it's a wall or whatever, fence, I don't know, whatever is best, you need to have some type of barrier. Of course, a wall is not 100%, but it does make it harder, and that's what you want. You want to make it as difficult as possible for drugs and criminal activities to get through. And let's see, I have another one here. This whole COVID situation has really highlighted some of the problems in the U.S. And Donald Trump has correctly identified what these problems are. So some of the problems that he talks about are how the drugs that are manufactured in China, they need to be manufactured here, because we need to, just in case we need these drugs, you know, we can get them right away. Because if it's from China and China decides, you know, maybe we're going to not send these drugs out to the U.S., it becomes a little bit of a problem. And also, I do think that Donald Trump believes in bringing manufacturing back into the U.S. When I was a kid, I was very proud of things that said made in USA. You know, because made in USA meant that it's a quality product that we could trust. And so we can do that again. So let's make America great again.